178 5-star reviews. So these are all really cool, unique kind of designs that if you can get these manufactured at scale in Alibaba, most likely are going to do well when you put them on Amazon. All right, so let's talk today about one of the ways that we often use for sourcing. A lot of people don't think about. We call it reverse sourcing. So there's a lot of websites out there that you can connect with manufacturers domestically. Probably the best website is thomas.net. That's one that's going to connect you with USA manufacturers. The best website that's going to connect you with manufacturers all over the world is alibaba.com. Before Alibaba, there was a few. JD.com was really big. Global Sources was very big as well. And then Alibaba came along and really cleaned everybody's clock. And this is the primary website that folks use when they want to connect with manufacturers in China, but not only in China, in India, in Vietnam, really in countries all over the world now, these manufacturers will advertise on Alibaba.com. So how do we use this website to find potential products? Again, if you've listened to some of our previous podcasts, you've learned the ways that we dive in and search for potential products. Another way that we often use, again, is going to Alibaba.com directly to see what manufacturers are advertising as their hot products. So this is a really good way to find what new products are coming out. So one of the ways that you kind of get ahead of everybody is if you actually go to the Canton Fair that's in China. If you've listened to us at all, you'll have heard that we talk about this. Generally, you can get ahead of the trends by 1 to 2 years if you visit the Canton Fair, because those manufacturers are going to bring out their top new products that are just being produced. And so if you're walking that floor, you potentially could see those products. Asia is about 1 to 2 years ahead of the US when it comes to these innovative new products coming to the market. Well, another way now, you don't have to actually go to Canton. You can go to Alibaba.com and you're going to be able to see, again, what these manufacturers are advertising for top products. So when you go to Alibaba, you can search. If you just type in that search bar, hot products, that's oftentimes what Chinese manufacturers will call their new line products, their innovative products that are just coming out. And you're going to be able to search by category for these various new products. And then what we often do, Nate, you can probably talk a little bit about this, is we'll go to Etsy or we'll go to Pinterest and we'll get ideas based around these potential new products that we're looking for, because often you'll find different iterations that are a little more innovative when you search Etsy and Pinterest over Alibaba.
Yeah, before we talk about that, walk me through, because if I'm new or I'm looking for my first product and I go to Alibaba.com, the homepage is going to be spammed essentially with these hyper competitive products. So you're going to see massage guns and a bunch of COVID related products right now, still in 2022. But what are you doing to get past kind of the top layer of those just completely saturated products? Like, what would be your strategy to dig a little bit deeper, but use this reverse sourcing where you're getting ideas from Alibaba or suppliers really before you've done the demand side research on Amazon, like we talk about typically?
Yep. So just like you said, if you go to the homepage, it's really busy. What you want to do is you want to start to niche down. Again, the rich is always in the niches. So if you want to look at the different categories, the sports and entertainment, home and garden, toys and hobbies, you want to click on those categories, and then you want to begin to niche down, like following the rabbit trails until you see some different interesting products. And this is what we always do then when we do find an interesting product. When we contact that manufacturer, either through email right on Alibaba or through WeChat, when we give the Alibaba sales rep our WeChat, we'll always ask that manufacturer, hey, can you share with us what some of your top selling products are in the past year, or any new products that you have coming up? And again, they're in the business to sell product. And so they'll often be very open with you about some of their best sellers or some potential new products that they have coming up.
Yeah, so I'm on Alibaba right now, and it's again very similar to Amazon, right? We talk about this all the time. It's essentially the Amazon version in China for both consumers and manufacturing. And we talk about this going to the best sellers on Amazon and niching down into kind of the subcategories. And obviously, you can do that the same way on Alibaba, going to lights and lighting, and then construction and real estate, and kind of work your way down that way, right? And if you're logged into Alibaba, it's funny because just like Amazon, as you start searching, they'll keep showing you more and more results that are related to your search. So after a while, you start to get into this kind of reinforced cycle of the same products you're seeing. So you definitely need to either sometimes open a new browser and start fresh, or you're just interested in a certain category and you can get that. There's definitely seasons of selling online or selling in our brand where I've spent a lot of time on Alibaba, and then sometimes I don't for a while, right? Because as a seller, if you start getting into a brand, and like we have been the last couple of years, I'm not doing as much initial research, so I'm not looking for new products all the time as much. But what I do like to do about once a month at least is go back into Alibaba and see, even in our own branded category, any new products that are popping up. Is there any innovative ideas, like you said, that are coming up from our same suppliers or similar suppliers in our brand? So whether you're a new seller, you can use this strategy, or if you're an existing seller and you're just trying to keep on the cutting edge of your category that you're in, you want to be in there looking to see what's new and popping up.
That's a great point right there. I just want to reiterate what you just said. If you have an existing brand or existing products, you need to check for a few reasons on Alibaba. You want to be able to see if there's any other newer innovative manufacturers that are producing something that's similar to yours that might be better. But I'll tell you, another reason is you want to make sure, right, Nate, that your products aren't being advertised on Alibaba.
Well, we've had this issue several times, both the same product that we're supposed to have an exclusive with our supplier, like that's one issue. And then we've actually seen it before where literally our exact brand is being advertised on Alibaba, where a supplier is taking a picture of ours and they're not even actually selling our brand. They're not our manufacturer, but they're trying to use our popular brand name to promote, similar products on there. So yeah, you want to be combing Alibaba, looking for that. When you do see that, you want to send them essentially like a cease and desist for using your images without your brand without your authorization. And a lot of times they'll listen to you, or you can get Alibaba involved, and they're pretty good actually about it sounds ironic, but they're pretty good about protecting IP on that front end. At least I don't know about all things IP protection, but when someone's using your exact brand or image, Alibaba will usually be able to step in and help you if you need it.
Let's just give folks a real practical example. So I've been looking for a mailbox for my home. And so what I'll do is I'll go to Alibaba, I'll type in mailbox. You're going to see a bunch of different versions come up that you can potentially purchase, again, from manufacturers there. So I'll scroll through, look through those. A lot of times, again, I'm logged into my Alibaba account. So if I see one, I'll like it. So that's saved in my liked products as well as my liked manufacturers. I'll then go to Etsy. Same thing in the search bar. I'll put in mailbox. And when you do that, you're going to see a lot more unique designs come up on Etsy that you're not seeing on Alibaba. And so, what you might be able to do is you might be able to take those designs. If you start working with the manufacturer, you make connection with the manufacturer, they might be able to, based on the material, make a customized mailbox for you, which is really what you want to do on Amazon. You don't want to bring, if you look on Alibaba for mailbox, you're going to see probably 25 different versions right away that are immediately on Amazon, the exact same product, the exact same version. You really don't want to do that. You want to try to create a unique one. The great thing about Etsy is too, you can see the different designs on there that are validated by customers. You can see that by the amount of reviews they have and by the amount of stars it has. So I'm looking at one right now. It's at the top row, has 4.5 stars, 107 reviews. Another one has 178 5-star reviews. So these are all really cool, unique kind of designs that if you can get these manufactured at scale in Alibaba, most likely are going to do well when you put them on Amazon. Again, remember, we always want to bring a product that is validated, right, by customers. You do the exact same thing on Pinterest. Pinterest, if you type in mailbox, I actually just typed in mailbox ideas. You're going to see a lot of different variations that come up that are not typically going to be on Alibaba. Now, here's the hard work, and this is where you differentiate yourself from other sellers on Amazon. You have to find then that manufacturer, and you have to be able to create that kind of design, a manufacturer that's going to be able to work with you, right, on a unique mailbox idea. But if you do that, you know that that product has been validated, and that's how you win, right, Nate?
Yeah, for sure. This is a little bit off base a little bit, but I want to get your view on this. If you did see a product on Alibaba that is getting manufactured and you thought the demand was there and it looked like a good opportunity, but you didn't want to get it made in China. We've talked a lot recently about, shifting, the macro outlook shifting a little bit. Maybe someone wants to get stuff made in the US, which has traditionally been very difficult to compete. But over the next couple of years, we think that maybe there could be more and more opportunity just because the way things are kind of moving in the world. What would be your process? And it's not going to be easy, I know, but if you saw something in Alibaba being made and you wanted to get it made in the US, but you're having a hard time obviously finding it because even using ThomasNet or whatever, it's not easy. What might be some of the steps you might take to see if it's possible to get it made in North America or in the US?
Yeah, so the first site I would go to is thomas.net and look for potential manufacturers that are similar, that would be able to make a mailbox like the design that I was looking for. Another idea too that you might want to do prior, to order in mass quantity is you may want to purchase on Etsy or Pinterest 5 mailbox designs that you really like, 5 of the same, and then just resell those on Amazon and see how they do, so that now you're kind of testing, right, the idea. I live here in central Pennsylvania. It's near a large Amish population. They're great at producing furniture. So I know there's a few local manufacturers. So for me locally, I might want to go to one of these local Amish manufacturers. And if I'm doing that, now I'm talking about sourcing a high priced, very good quality product that's probably going to have a little less overall sales per month. But that's okay as long as my margin is there. So, I think when you start talking about sourcing and looking for US produced products, you have to be willing, again, to find products that have higher margin, probably lower sales velocity, but overall, hopefully your profit is going to be similar to selling something that has lower margin with a really high sales velocity.
Just to get tactical, the mailbox example I like because if I was entering that space, most mailboxes are probably pretty established, competitive. Obviously, mailboxes have been around for a long time, so there's some big players who sell all of your normal mailbox designs. I'm sure I haven't really looked into this, but if I was going after this market, I would definitely look to enter the very custom, unique space because there's always room for growth there, right? There's always going to be someone who's looking for that one unique design around mailboxes, and maybe there's not going to be millions of people ordering it, but there could be a subset of 1,000, couple thousand people who are interested in a hobby related mailbox design or something, right? And so I really like that when you're entering a competitive space or a new market, you kind of go towards what you were just saying, that premium custom market, work your way in. And from there, other opportunities open up either in the same space or in a very closely related space. And I apologize, my voice is just about had it at the end of my cold, but hopefully I can get the point across there that that's the way I would approach that. Or a similar market is going on that high end custom. Like you said, the sales are going to be less at first, but then you can work your way into the niche better that way as the start. All right. Well, I like reverse sourcing. We've used it personally looking at products in Alibaba, especially in our own niche that we're already selling in. That's kind of the main way we've looked at it. But it is a very valid way to look at new products as well. I also wanted to talk about real quick, walk us through our partner, Gary Ray, was recently on the Helium 10 podcast, which is a super popular podcast, probably one of the largest Amazon seller related podcasts. And Gary was on there talking to Bradley Sutton about arbitrage, selling on Amazon, a lot of stuff we've talked about. But walk us through. That's pretty cool to see Gary being spotlighted like that there.
Well, if you've listened to us at all, you know that we often talk about the absolute best business we think to grow now in 2022, especially if you're starting out as a side hustle, you want to grow it into a full-time hustle, just like we did. It's a business of arbitrage. Starting by selling stuff around your house, then you move to garage sales, then you move to thrift stores, then you move to big box stores, and then you start doing online arbitrage. And then, like us, we progress finally where we actually are building our own brand. Well, there are still thousands of Amazon sellers today who do retail arbitrage. And that's what this article is about. It's from our partner, Gary Ray's phenomenal businessman. He did $2.6 million last year, and about 90% of his inventory is purchased online. So we have actually lists. We have folks that comb the internet and they find price discrepancies. And so they'll find products on Walmart that are selling for $10, yet selling on Amazon for $30. And they'll create these lists and they actually email them out to our members on a daily basis. Well, this is what Gary does. So he has a number of buyers. He has a phenomenal team that will comb through these lists. They make these purchases. The inventory then is shipped to his home. He has a warehouse in his garage, and he has a few full-time employees then that do the prepping and packing, send it into Amazon. Folks, he sold $2.6 million last year of online arbitrage. It's an extremely profitable business. He doesn't touch the product. He's figured out how to build a great team. And that's what this podcast is about with Bradley Sutton. So if you get a chance, you definitely just search Helium 10, type in Gary Ray's name. You'll hear the interview that he has. We actually are going to see Gary in about a month. I'm excited about that. I usually try to make a trip to his home at least once a year. And we're going to be able to hear from him again, how he's running his operation. And in our group now, we have over $100 million sellers who sell over $1 million in a 12-month period using this exact model of arbitrage, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. So it is alive and well, and it is a great opportunity to build an amazing business.
Yeah, I'm excited to be just around a bunch of sellers every time we can get together and just network and throw fresh ideas at different people, like Gary, like Dan Wentworth. It's a good time. Before we wrap up, I wanted to talk about something that's really relevant right now with AMZ Pro. Anybody who is sending FBA shipments into Amazon knows that Amazon loses stuff time to time or very frequently. And then you have to go and you have to reconcile the discrepancies for your FBA shipments. AMZ Pro can do that for you. But what Amazon is asking for pretty much every single time and for almost every quantity now, it used to be that they didn't do it except for large shipments. But now, even if it's only a minor discrepancy of a few units, they are asking for invoices. And so with AMZ Pro, we're actually creating some template guides for our clients and sellers to see examples of what invoices have typically worked in the past. And so I'm excited about that. I think it's going to help a lot of people capture more reimbursements from Amazon for FBA shipments. And we'll be rolling out those guides to AMZ Pro customers coming up. That's AMZProfessional.com. If you're not doing FBA shipment reconciliation, that's actually where we probably get the most money back for sellers, because there's some FBA shipments in our own brand where we've literally gotten $5,000 to $10,000 of reimbursements from a single shipment, when Amazon sometimes unfortunately loses hundreds of units at a time. It can happen. So make sure you're doing that, and then make sure that you check out AMZ Professional. We can help you with that. All right, Andy. Well, to wrap up, I just want to remind everybody to go to amazingfreedom.com and sign up to be an insider. We're releasing our third magazine where we're actually featuring Gay Lisby and her story of how she was able to become $1 million seller as a grandma in her late 50s who basically had to start over her life in her 50s. And so it's a really good cover story. And there's a lot of cool stuff in that magazine that you'll get when you sign up to be an insider. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the next episode where we'll be talking about more things all related to finding products and launching successfully on Amazon. Again, Andy Slamans, Nathan Slamans here. We own a portfolio of brands that does $15 million in sales a year. And we make this to help sellers to be able to avoid some of the mistakes that we've had through the past. And we want to help all of our followers be able to find that formula that we've seen over the past couple of years that's worked over and over again to get to that gold lanyard $1 million status. Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.